That's exactly what you're seeing here on my screen, okay? I'm here on the homepage of the Shopee Seller Center, and this is the revenue for this specific store. Today, I want to talk a little about dropshipping on Shopee, how things are going, right? I've already recorded a video about this here on the channel, okay? I'll talk a little more about it in a moment, but just so you have an idea, here in this store, showing this specific result, okay? So there are several settings here on Shopee that aren't really worth highlighting right away, you know? But this is just to give you an overview of how Shopee is doing here in the year 2025, okay? And one very interesting thing, I'm not actually going to show the very first product specifically, but I will show the other top 5 here. Well, actually, there are 6 products, right? So I'm showing here, actually it's 5 products, but I'm showing 4 products here, just so you can get an idea. And here are the niches as well in relation to sales. And what do I mean with this video, right? What's the purpose of this video as a whole? It's to explain to you how this thing of doing dropshipping specifically on Shopee is going, but in a different way. It's about working with products without inventory, but in a different way. It's not exactly dropshipping anymore, and we're going to talk about that too. There's even a product here that's banned. This happens, it's normal. There are products that sometimes after an initial review aren't against the restrictions. Then only after it sells, it goes through a more detailed review. And then some element of the product or something like that goes against the platform's own restrictions. This can happen with products, and obviously I'll talk more about that as well. But this is part of a new series of videos here on the channel that I want to run, which is about presenting other ways to make money online by selling products without inventory using the dropshipping strategy. And you guys asked me a lot to talk about Shopee, about how strong it is here in Brazil, and it really is very strong. This result, just so you have an idea, is from the last 30 days, so it's completely up to date as you can see on the screen. I'll even refresh it here, look, so you can see. Look, last 30 days, perfect, everything's correct. So what do I want to tell you with this content here? So it's clear, and I'm sharing this information so that in the future you can get good results. I'm going to explain what these 2 ways are, which is the best way. Let's go. So since I've already shown revenue, sales, and products, I want to explain about Shopee as a whole, because I've already made a video before here on the channel. I've already made a video about Shopee, about the questions you were asking me regarding whether Shopee allows dropshipping. Using suppliers, using Shopee's products in the dropshipping model for your ready-made store. And at that time I mentioned, which is even stated in Shopee's own terms, that Shopee does not allow the dropshipping logistics model or strategy. And that's the integration, you taking a product from Shopee itself and selling it in your store. That is not allowed. And that's fine. That video was a while ago, but even in the latest update, at the end of this year, even now in 2024, it's still not allowed to use the dropshipping strategy natively within Shopee. I'm not saying there's no way at all, there are ways, but with some tricks, not natively. I know a lot of influencers out there make videos talking about these tricks. I don't do things with tricks, I do everything the right way. And I'll also teach you how to do it the right way. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there are 2 ways for you to start with Shopee by doing things the right way and still keep working with this logistics strategy without needing to keep stock at your house. Keeping stock in your own office or in your own warehouse, renting your own warehouse, you don't need to do that. This is also part of all the tests I've been talking about over the past year, of new possibilities for working with online sales, selling physical products, without actually needing to have the stock at home, which is basically the dropshipping logistics strategy. I'm testing this more and more, setting up operations to teach here on the channel, to teach my students more and more. And the way I mentioned at the beginning of the video is by having a store inside Shopee itself. You're allowed to create your account as a seller and have your store right there inside. And then you can use Shopee's own authority to sell the products you have there. And then, in this format, in this sales model where you have a store inside Shopee itself, you don't need to create a new store, create anything like that, a domain, buy a domain, hosting, platform, nothing like that. You actually create an account as a seller on Shopee itself. And then you might be wondering, hey Douglas, but I don't have these products you showed and I can't sell them. How am I going to prepare stock of these products? And really, I even understand how you're going to sell these products, since the Shopee platform doesn't allow the dropshipping strategy for you to sell on your own e-commerce, but it does allow you to sell products on Shopee itself. There is a way, which is with your drop warehouse, which is showing up here on my screen, where your drop warehouse, which is a structure from Treskerks itself, that I've already mentioned here on the channel, they simply have warehouses with thousands and thousands of products that you can be selling in this Shopee store. In fact, they have a plan here, just so you have an idea, which is the Create a Shopee plan. You will simply have access to more than 1,000 products. But not only that, you'll be able to get 50 ads for these products published, so you just subscribe to this plan and create your seller account on Shopee. By the way, if you want, comment here if you want me to make more tutorials. Like this one about Shopee, explaining how everything works, how to register, how to sell, strategies to sell. I want to talk more and more about other ways for you to sell physical products online without needing to keep inventory. So, with this plan, you can get those 50 published listings. Of course, there's the other plan here that you also have access to, but my products, obviously, which are an incredible variety. There are a lot more. I've already been to the warehouse, had the chance to see and hold the products myself, and it's really awesome. But here, in this plan, you already get the 50 product listings published, ready to start selling, ready. And another way you can also get started, which doesn't stop you, but you'll earn a smaller percentage. You won't make as much money compared to the plan I just mentioned, where you actually become a store owner within Shopee's own platform, is by becoming an affiliate for Shopee's products. In other words, do you see this screen here showing a bunch of products? You can also become an affiliate for one of these products. For example, this shaver here, this shaving machine. And for each sale you make of this item here, you receive a percentage, which will vary between 3% and 14%. These are two excellent ways for you to get started through Shopee. As I mentioned, I'll leave a link in the description for you to check out your Drop Warehouse, which is an initiative by TraceClicks itself. And the most interesting thing about all this is that when you make sales of these products, the products will be shipped directly from the TraceClicks logistics center straight to your customer's home, without you needing to stock them in your office, without needing to store them at your house, and you don't need to rent anything to be able to store these products. And now I want to talk a little about promotion strategies, because there are several ways for you to promote this seller store inside Shopee. One way that will surprise you with how efficient and simple it is to execute is to simply use Shopee's own search engine, so you can find the best customers for the products that will be listed in this seller store. That's right, you heard me. I'm not kidding. Shopee, depending on the support you provide to customers who send questions, the sales you make, and the deliveries you complete, you kind of climb a ladder, increasing your score within the Shopee platform. This way, you have the chance to be well positioned in Shopee's own search engines. But not only that, Shopee also runs ads. Yes, ads. Investing millions and millions in ads on Facebook ads, Instagram, TikTok, Google, YouTube, wherever. And the banners, usually the product links, usually direct people to a page full of products, and one of those pages might have one of the products listed in your store. And obviously, there are other strategies you can use to make your content go viral on Instagram and TikTok. I've already made a video about organic traffic strategies here on the channel. I'll even leave the link showing up in the card for you. Another very effective strategy is to use influencers, but specifically regional influencers from small towns. They usually don't have a lot of followers, but they're very engaged, and they typically won't charge a high price for a post. Sometimes just by sending the product to that person, they'll share the link to your store. That's what's most interesting. So, as you can see, there are thousands and thousands of products, right? Within TraceClicks, in your Drop Warehouse as well, you have access to a lot of products, really a lot. There are more than 1,000 products. I had the pleasure of visiting the warehouse more than once, and I held all the products in my hands, tested the quality, tested the type of product. Obviously, we can't sell all the products that are available, but I'm sure that's why it creates opportunities for many people to prosper as well, selling products without the need to keep inventory. But tell me, I just wanted to give you some feedback at the start of the year so you can understand everything that's happening about the structure, about whether it's worth it or not for you to also go down this Shopee path, and it definitely is. But this is your feedback, which is very important regarding the results and everything else. I want more and more to help you prosper through this channel. That has always been my goal and my purpose. Big hug and goodbye. Subtitle: Adriana Zanotto.